Relatable checking in, where we take your favorite anime and relate them to our real life in hopes to point people to Jesus. I recently did a podcast video with my friend Nate over at Liberated Otaku, and we do a dive into my story, my faith journey, sharing Jesus, using anime, and much more. So check out this clip now. Christian family, right? So I grew up in New Jersey. So like I think with the, and maybe you resonate with this as well, with sort of with the African American experience, it's like I think Christianity is always like, you know, clumped together with it. And so my family was like that, right? And so we weren't really living for Jesus, but it was like go to church, go to Sunday school, you know, get morals that way, right? Which, you know, whatever. But I hated it. I didn't really like going. It's like, you know, when you're young, like you could always like, you know, stay home, play video games and just relax. But one day, right?
Right.
So so we went to church and everything like that. And so I always like telling this part of my story because it's a kind of a fork in the road for my journey as far as spiritually. So my dad, he passed when I was 15. And so I, you know, dealing with that, grieving with that and everything, my dad's funeral, there was like a gospel call. It was like a, you know, classic, you know, gospel, like, you know, charismatic type setting. We were in a smaller church or whatever. And so there was this like call to, you know, receive the gospel, to believe in Jesus. And for me during that time, I really didn't understand like, you know, what the gospel meant, what Christianity was about. It was more so like, hey, there's a possibility that I could see my dad again, and maybe most likely my emotions were tied into that. And so I'm like, okay, I'm going to stand up and receive Jesus, say the sinner's prayer, and do that, right? So I did that, but there really wasn't any life change after that. But when I started going further in high school, I you know, my mom started going to church a lot more. I started going to church a lot more, and it wasn't like I was against church. It was like, oh, I actually, you know, I don't mind this. I don't mind being a part of this. But it wasn't until college where I started really seeking out like you know, truth and, you know, Christianity and spirituality, really trying to figure out like what to believe, because my family background is a mix of a bunch of different religious backgrounds. So like Christianity, like I have my mom, she ended up becoming a Black Hebrew Israelite when I was I was a sophomore in college. I have an older brother that's a Muslim and some Muslim ideology there. And so there was a lot of things I kind of believe. They're like, oh, what do I necessarily believe? And then, you know, I went to college, junior year. I started getting into Christian apologetics because I really just started like going back and forth with my mom a lot, just with her theology. And I started like getting into it and really just understanding like Christianity a little bit more in the Bible itself. And then it was at that point I was like, oh, okay, I guess I believe this. But it wasn't until like a certain point where God really just like got a hold of me. He was like, yep, I have to believe this now. I know this is what I believe. So it's sort of like my testimony story. I got into the YouTube space. So fun fact, I don't share this a lot, but I started a YouTube channel. When did I start a YouTube channel? I started a YouTube channel my senior year of college. So this is about like 2019. And then I was just making like sort of like, you know, Christian devotional content, sharing my heart, everything like that. And then I stopped because I was just like, I don't know where this is going. And I was vlogging and things like that because I used to run track and field. So like I like vlogging, you know, my meets, my teammates and stuff like that. And so I did that for a little bit, and then I stopped because it was like, I don't want to, you know, do this. And then, you know, obviously I was a consumer of Christian YouTube. I enjoy Christian YouTube, Christian, you know, music, Christian entertainment. And then I had sort of this idea, in 2000, what is it, 2024 now? So about a year and some change ago, I was just like, yo, I want to get back into this niche, or I want to get back into YouTube. I don't know what I want to do. And so I was thinking about it, and then I was, you know, watching anime with my wife and everything. And I was like, yo, I see a lot of these gospel themes and Christian themes and relatable themes in anime that I think could make for a great parallel to the Christian story. And so I was thinking about it, and it was like, okay, bet, yeah, let me. And then it, you know, started out with Anime Relatable, which is crazy. It's amazing that you said that there wasn't a lot of it didn't seem like there were a lot of people doing the specific niche that we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
I felt that very same way, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like, yo, like, I don't see anybody else doing it. I see a lot of anime-tubers like doing things. Like I see a lot of anime-tubers like, talking about their favorite anime, and they have some relatable things in it and people love it. But I'm like, there's something deeper to this. And so that's when I became cool. And then honestly, you wouldn't think that like there are like a lot of people, and obviously it's a small niche that we're in, but there are a lot of like nerd, like geek culture that like are Christian, and it's like the further you get into it, the more you like find other people, which is like kind of my, I think, kind of like what you're experiencing now, as far as like, I mean, me being in it and stuff like that.
Right. I mean, yeah.
So you come across more channels and stuff, but that's sort of like my background and how I got into this.
I got you. Hey man, it's a very kind of like an eye-opening experience, right? I mean, just hearing you talk, some of the things were kind of similar to my own journey. So the way I like to tell people is, I've been a Christian my entire life, but I didn't have a relationship with God until about 4 years ago, right? Okay. Because before then it was my parents' faith for me, and then I got to the point where I had faith in Him for myself, and so that's where I kind of really got deeper into the Word and deeper into my faith and what that really means. And honestly, I never thought about doing any of this ever, right? I was like, yep, YouTube's cool, and I like watching videos on there, but I didn't think about it until really. So to kind of give a little bit about how I got started and got to this point. So this started off as a podcast. It started off as a podcast, and I got that idea because my church where we go now, every January we have 21 days of prayer and fasting. So the church corporately, we all fast whatever it is, it's food or whatnot, for 21 days, and you're deep in the Word, deep in prayer. You're praying intentionally, and I remember this vividly. So it's so clear to me, and I remember I came home from serving at my church. It was late at night, and a new episode of Blue Lock just came out. So I was like, all right, bet, I'm coming home. I'm getting ready. I had my protein shake because I couldn't eat, so I was chilling. And it was the episode where I don't know if you've seen the anime. If you've seen Blue Lock.
I haven't gotten Blue Lock yet. I'm like, I'm like wading my way through, but I'm taking my time in. But I'm watching. I plan on to.
You got to do. I love it. I never thought I love a sport anime as much as I do with this one. But it was I won't spoil too much for you then. But the main character, he said something that just resonated deep with my spirit. He was trying to get a teammate to cooperate with him, and so they can win, but his teammate wasn't having it. And then the main character was like, you know what? Forget it then. I'm just gonna have to forget everything that I know and recreate myself from the ground up to fit this current situation. And it was like in that moment, God was like, that's what I need you to do. Like, that's what I need you to do. I need you to start over with the things that you think you know. In that moment, the character was like, all right, I'm gonna just start over, rebuild myself, and everything that I thought I knew is out the window, and I'm only gonna focus on what's going on right now. And I think in that moment, God was speaking to me. He said, that's what I need you to do. Because at the time I didn't know why He wanted me to do that, but I needed to really go back to the basics for me, which was back to Him and understanding, who He's called me to be. What does that really mean to be, to be a child of God, to be a son of God? And then during that process, I felt like He was telling me to do what I was doing for myself for other people. Growing up watching anime and stuff, I've always related to the characters in some form or fashion, because it's like, they're going through struggles, I'm going through struggles. What can I take from that and apply to myself? And that's where the birth of the podcast happened. And then I was like, you know what, I can do more. And that's where the YouTube channel came. So, and now it's really just a YouTube channel, to be fair. But
got you. So the podcast has been running longer than the YouTube channel.
For I think is maybe like 5 to 6 months, I'd say longer. So not that much longer, but it was all kind of in the same general area.
Gotcha.
But yeah, so I mean that's how I got here, man. And I'm really pushing to make this into something, because I have a feeling this not just my channel, but the whole space is just, it's like right at the cusp of something. If I don't know if I'm making sense, but I just feel like something good's coming, man.
No, bro. It's crazy to me, because I literally am thinking that exact same thing, right? So I recently just recorded a video, and I think it should be uploaded now, where I was saying like, hey, there are a bunch of like, and just me realizing that there are a bunch of like anime nerd channels, Christian channels that are popping up in the Christian niche, in the Christian YouTube space, that's like me, you, like I'm thinking of others like Christian anime podcasts. There's a guy named Informed Nerd, Geek Devotion. There's something happening where it's like we aren't just wanting to be consumers of an art or of a hobby or anime that we like, but we really want to give value in these different spaces, right? Because there are different people that have these channels and they talk about anime and things like that, but it's like we're offering people something that's way bigger, way better, and way more life-giving than what anyone else can give, and that's ultimately Jesus, right? And so I think it's just the beginning, right? And I'm glad you're in this. I'm glad you're in this space, bro, because like I feel like it can be lonely, like to just starting out for sure. And I think I still feel this of just like when you're starting out, you just like you want people to find your videos, like you want people to like actually watch their things, right? And first, like let me give you kudos, bro, because like you're popping, dog. Like I appreciate it. Your videos are done well. I'm just like, yo, like it's only a matter of time before like. Because I'm seeing the view count, I'm seeing people just watching, commenting, interacting with your stuff. Yo, you're killing it, dog. And so,
hey, appreciate it, bro.
Yeah, man. So I appreciate you being here, man. And I think something special what's gonna happen too. And I'm like excited that you're a part of it. Because I think it's just the beginning, right? So, yeah.
I appreciate it, man. Because just kind of going back to what you said earlier about there's a deeper meaning to all of this, right? Not just anime. Obviously, we're in the anime space, but all the media, even just our day-to-day lives. If we just take the time to really think about it, there's so many just little nuggets of things we can just take out, and it never occurred to me to try to share this with other people. I've always I'm very much I'm introverted person by nature. I'm a watcher, I'm an observer, and I would just do that for myself. And it's like, why not help other people do the same thing? And for me, I'm not one of the type of Christians that's just going to beat you over the head with the gospel. Like I'm not one of the ones who are just going to quote scripture at you all the time, but I like to relate it through experiences, through testimonies. I guess testimonies is a better word. So whether it's my own or with the characters that we're seeing, and really giving people the tools to get there. And so I mean, and honestly, you said about like the quality of my videos, dude. That's my editor, man. He's I can only take credit for the words I say. The rest of that is his baby. Which I met him in church as well, because we served together at a mission trip. So he's awesome. So Ryan, if you see this, man, you're awesome.
Yo, shout out to you, bro. Yo, I don't even got it in there. You got it, bro.
Hey, look, that's all God, man. That was dude. We came back from we went to Belize. We came back, and I was like, you know what? Ryan's good with cameras. Let me hit him up and see if he wants to do this thing. He was like, yeah.
Yo, that's cool.
Hey, dude, it's a blessing. But and no, dude, you're like your videos, dude. They hit me in a different type of way, because just like stuff I'm not even thinking about really. I think the last one I saw was the is anime like escapism or something like that. It's one of those things like I never really thought about it. It's like, but it's true. A lot of people think it's just, oh, I just want to unplug and really just veg out on the couch. I mean, you can, but it's not just that. So
yeah. I don't know if you want to finish it out, or you have it.
No. Tell me about how that came.
It's the full interview I did with Liberated Otaku. Make sure you click this video over here, and I'll catch you over there. Cool. See ya.